3D open for 15 minutes and haven't gotten a single new quake. And as soon as I go live, there's a new quake. That's fun. Yeah. Hey, y'all. We are looking at a very severe weather day today. As I said yesterday, the conditions that set up in the plains states to create thunderstorms yesterday have just ripened up today to create some tornadic activity. So drop a like or a comment in the chat if you enjoy my Harry Styles shirt. It says treat people with kindness. I like it because it's both flagging for being a Harry Styles fan and just a very nice thing that you want people to be thinking of when you're out and about. Today, I wore this shirt and somebody complimented me and then gave me a free donut. So that was pretty awesome. I did work today, so there was a lot of I needed the free calories. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's just jump into it. Very Philip DeFranco of me to say. Let's jump into analyzing tonight's terrestrial weather because we do have ongoing tornado threats. Let's see. Make sure I can show this. And I'll do that on the big screen. On the big screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm like your Hasanabi only I talk about weather instead of games. Someone raid me. I don't even know. I don't know what a Twitch raid is. I don't know how Twitch works. I know I'm on here. Okay. I don't think it's even recording anything. So, let's look at this radar. So for active alerts, we've got a tornado warning on the ground in Union, Louisiana, Union, Arkansas. Let's take a look at that. That is a border town right here near El Dorado. Let's see. This is our composite radar. Let's see this develop in real time. If it wants to develop. Buffering. All right. Look at that wrapping up. Look at that. Looks like imagery. Are we back? Yeah, I think we're back now. Hey guys. Hey y'all. Welcome back. I lost internet there for a second. I'm sure if you're watching this on YouTube, it already cut out the dead air time, but if you are joining me on Twitter or Twitch, I'm sorry that it was dead air for a little bit there. We are trying to take a look at the tornado here in Union, Louisiana / Arkansas. It's one of those Bristol, Tennessee things where, okay, that one is out of service. Let's see if Shreveport's got an eye on this. Yes. We will take the Shreveport. Okay. Looking at some. See, this is the cell that I guess they've got tornado warning on for. Does look to be rotating rapidly in the horizontal direction. Let's see where the velocity is ending up. Hey-yo, there's that couplet. There's that strong velocity couplet about to head towards strong Arkansas. Let's watch this develop. Let's take a look at this development. Oh, yeah, that looks kind of nasty. Looks like there are probably a lot of rotational pipes down to the surface. Do you see this little line of them breaking out? There's sometimes when there's two air masses moving in the same direction, but at different speeds, it looks like there's no change, but there actually is some rotation in there from the two speeds being different. What I'm talking about is let's look at storm relative velocity, because this will take out the fact that the storm is all moving in one direction. So we'll subtract that out. Okay. And it looks like we just lost our tornado warning. So we are not seeing a tornado warning for this area anymore. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning still in place, though. Hail up to 1 inch, winds up to 60 miles per hour. I see why they did tornado warn that storm, but I think we are now out of the woods for a tornado in this specific spot right now. But still looking at a lot of, I mean, this is a nasty hail core. Let's see what our correlation coefficient looks like, because then we can see what kind of hail this is looking like. Oh, hail, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's icy, baby. Are we gonna show? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so here you can even see some spinny motion. Where they go like this. That is the spinning, the double helix type of spinning. This motion that you see, the waves going in and out. Okay, I gotta sit up. I've worn out this couch cushion. I need to put supplementary cushions. Let's take a look at where we still have some warnings, though. Tornado watches. We're looking at southwest Iowa, eastern Kansas, northwest Missouri. Oh, we just got a new warning. New alert. Tornado warning in Polk, Iowa. Let's take a look at Polk, Iowa. Alrighty, so right here near the warm front, near the warm boundary of this center of circulation, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous setup. This is quite clearly the crashing waves. Oh, wow. So that's just looking at correlation coefficient. This is looking like something. Let's take a look at reflectivity. All right. I see the spin up a bit. Do you see the rotation? Do you see how this looks like a ribbon getting twirled? Going. Yeah. Let's see where that. I bet if they indicated it from radar. Oh, there's the velocity couplet. Quite strong. Quite strong looking velocity couplet there. So we see this boundary right here. This semi-frontal boundary that is, or really we're going perpendicular to the frontal boundary. This gust of air has a little notch in it that has created a very likely tornado. Now, I'm not a specialist in tornadoes. I'm a specialist in atmospheric optics. And by optics, I mean, I just like the pretty clouds. But, yeah, my specialty is, I like pretty clouds. And I am a pretty cloud. But it doesn't take a specialist to realize that we are looking at likely very strong severe weather here. Let's take it back a little. Watch as this folds. Okay, if I step through step by step, you can see this is the area we're going to look for it forming in. And as you see, imagine this is a spiral going in this direction that is rotating. See if you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. Can you see the double helix rotation kind of movement there? Now that is in the horizontal plane. That's in the parallel to the earth plane. So that's not the rotation that creates the tornado directly, but that's a sign that there's a lot of vorticity. That if the axis of the rotation is bent downwards towards the earth, that's when you can get tornadoes out of this. So there are also some pretty high reflectivity values up here that look like a nasty thing to deal with. Also down here between Creston and Osceola, what a monster this appears to be. Also spinning, not quite having the, you want a large surface area on your amorphous blob in order to form a tornado. Like a smooth edge storm isn't going to form a tornado well. It's those like chewy, grinded up little pockets of the edges of the storms that'll usually be more conducive for tornado genesis. But so this looks like I would want, it would need to form a little hook echo back here in order to become a tornado. But really when I zoom out, I think we can see the rotational nature of the horizontal plane of all storms. Now, let's go back out to our composite. Look at how densely spiraled this is. Are looking at, and okay, so we're looking at enhanced and marginal risks for severe weather out here, but back here, a really significant risk. So that is unfortunate because this happens to be an area of Texas that gets a lot of earthquakes. Now, how are those related? Well, I have a personal theory that earthquakes have a correlation with temperature anomaly. I think that earthquakes might be hot sometimes. I don't like the look of this for that because I know that this area of Texas gets a lot of earthquakes. There's also a lot of oil drilling operations out there. There's also this area has been bone dry for a while. So, but speaking of bone dry, there's some places that are not bone dry, and it is everywhere that the front is moving parallel to the axis of the storm. So, like here, for instance, between Shreveport and Memphis, you see how this line of storms is not sweeping across, it's tracking with the axis. So that's like, okay, I think I've got a marker that can give a good example of this. Let me just make sure that my video is capturing it. Oh, Jesus. I haven't been putting I didn't get my radar back up there. Okay. Now I want to go back to my face anyway. Okay. So when a storm is moving across the country, there's both the movement of the storm itself and the orientation of the boundary of the rain. So looking at, that's going to show up. Yeah. If we're looking here at north being up, and we've got a storm that's shaped like this, which is kind of what we've got here from Louisiana into Tennessee, shaped like that. If the storm is moving this direction only, then we're going to sweep by, and each area is going to get very little rain because this band of storm is only in that area for a very short amount of time. But if we have, let's say, movement parallel to the shape of the storm, then we're going to get this, then this, then this, then this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. You see how all these little tracks, even though the storm is moving maybe at the same speed and has the same intensity, you can see the tracks created from when the storm is moving parallel to the slope of the frontal boundary is laying down more pigment, or in this case, creating more precipitation. Let's see if I can show this any other way. That's what we've got going on here, and really good for a very bad event. This is a really good illustration of what it's like to have severe flash flooding. We're expecting 5 to 6 inches of rain within a 24-hour period in some places here. So let's see if does this show up a little better on camera? Yeah, that shows up a lot better on camera. Okay, so if we go, if this is our frontal boundary and it's just going this way, then we'll go like, see how a lot of it is not overlapping? Let me illustrate some overlap. Okay? But if we're going this way, there's less time that it's raining over one point. But if we're going this way with the storm track, if we're moving parallel to the storm's shape, we just keep going over and over and over and over the same areas. Okay? Does this make sense? This is what's happening. This movement parallel to the axis of the storm. That's what's happening here with what we've got going on in Arkansas right now. Do you see how we've got the storm moving in the direction of the shape of the storm? That is what sets you up for some severe flooding. Now, this is also going right along the Mississippi River. So there's going to be some really high river stages here in a second. Let's check back in at our tornado warned storm here in Des Moines, Iowa. Let's see. All right, that does seem to be spinning into more of a hook shape, more of a shrimpy shape. Let's take a look at our base velocity. See if we can see this step through better. Oh, that doesn't look to be weakening. Here. Sometimes the velocity gets blown out, so it's hard to track a bit. But see, from West Des Moines, okay, even here, this is the area that we're looking at. Up there, it starts to get more and more electrical as well. Now we're in Windsor Heights. Now we have skipped over to just due north of Des Moines. And now we are between Saylorville and Berwick. Yeah, so this is our tornado right now. Okay. This whole area, but then really centered here. This is, it looks like a heart or something, but I frequently see hearts in these things because I love the weather. Let's look at our velocity again. Remember, we are looking right here really for that velocity. So looks like it's really could be a nighttime tornado, could be rain wrapped as well, because okay, here's a new scan. Yee. I don't like it. I don't like that. For anyone near Des Moines, Iowa, be very careful, please. It looks gnarlier on the reflective, or on the looks nastier on the velocity than the reflectivity, but it's also kind of hard to see the reflectivity in with my borders and streets on. This is one that's it's a bit between moving parallel to the axis of the storm and perpendicular to it. Really, the frontal boundary, it's perpendicular to the frontal boundary. So I want to say it shouldn't dump as much rain, but it probably will, because look how slowly this area has gotten out of. These are really thin storms by the direction the wind is blowing it, not by how thick it is at the shortest part. Like, for instance, this one right here. Let me do my measuring tool. Was that this one? If we just went from here to here, that's only a 7-mile storm. But if we go from here to here, because that's the direction that the storm is moving in, and this is the amount of cloud that's going to be over one spot, say here near Murray, that is, how much is that? It won't let me pop up inside the. Okay, stop telling me about the tornado watch. I want to see. Okay. Radar Omega's doing that thing again where it doesn't let me use features. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to a different. I've ranted about specifically atmospheric weather a lot tonight, so I think it's time for me to. This Radar Omega hiccup means that it's time for me to switch to a different topic. So let's go ahead, and I will keep an eye on these storms in the background. But let's go ahead and switch to talking about our volcano and earthquake news. Let's see. Volcano earthquake report for the 26th. Tres Virgenes, Clear Lake, Coso, Mount Hood, San Vicente, and Costapeque, and Baru are our volcanoes. We had earthquakes at Katla, Iceland. We had 9 earthquakes at Campi Flegrei, the Phlegrean Fields. Let's see. The Tjornis fracture zone. I bet that is in Iceland. Fagradalsfjall has had 23 quakes. Don João de Castro Bank. Let's see. Grimsvötn also coming in there. Mount Rainier. Zapatera. Tongariro. Yeah, we are Malangplein and and Auckland Field, as well as Musan. These are all the areas that we've seen some earthquakes near volcanoes today. Let's go back to our news, though, because I think there's some, Puyehe Kodankaje volcano has started to, well, I don't know why we're reporting on no eruption, but apparently there's no eruption. Mount Ibu continues to explode. So does Dukono. Let's see. Not seeing any ash from Popo. Sangai volcano continues to emit. So does Fuego and Mount Ibu. Let's see. Yeah, we are looking at, let's take a look at Saturday the 27th, what they got there. Yeah. Let's go now to look at our Iceland. Let's look at our Icelandic volcanoes. Oh no, that's not the one I want. That's not the link I wanted. Let's look at our recent earthquakes. Okay, we had a 2. Okay, so our highest magnitude is 2, and our most recent one was very recent here in the Reykjanes Peninsula. Let's see what the entire island looks like, though. Yeah, the Tjörnes fracture zone has had a few as well. Let's look at, where does it say? North Atlantic. That's the one that has the whole thing. Yeah, okay, so you can see along the plate boundary that runs through Iceland, pretty much the whole plate boundary is lit up right now. And the 2 ends are the ones that had the most recent activity. I wonder if the Vatnajökull area is going to have the next hit. That's the one where, Grimsvatn and all the other volcanoes that had earthquakes I mentioned were located in the Vatnajökull area. Let's see, weekly overview. Last week, there were around 700 earthquakes. This week, we had about half of that, but we had some Bardabunga. And let's take a look at our volcano update. April 23rd. That is the last one we got, I guess. Let's see. Looks same hazard map. So let's take a look at Bardabunga. Any updates there? Slight uplift at their GPS stations. What about Grimsvatn? And Hekla also had something. No? Okay. Well, let's continue and go to our earthquakes. Let's see. Make sure I'm still broadcasting. Yes, correct. I have to occasionally make sure that my browser's still broadcasting because it weirdly doesn't want me to ever be offline by accident. Okay, let's take a look at the past 24 hours earthquakes. So where we last left off, where we left our journey, we had some momentum spreading just north of Taiwan in the little diamond-shaped plate here. Or is that at Taiwan? Yeah, that's actually at Taiwan. We had some momentum at Taiwan, and that has transferred over to a 4.6 on the Marianas Trench. And the aging, these blue ones are some slightly aged earthquakes that we had a whole, at 9:43 a.m. yesterday, so almost 24 hours ago. We got a deep 4.6 here at 285 kilometers deep. Let's see. These earthquakes along the Indo-Australian plate, we got a 6.0, a 4 point. We got 5s, we got 6s at 10 kilometers depth. These are all 10 kilometers depth. That is a lot of energy right there. Let's see if the opposite side of that. The opposite side of that is the opposite side of the world from that area where we saw the 6 is the area of the panhandle of Texas where I was just talking about we're at risk of severe fire warnings. Let's take the rings and the shells down a little bit. Hey, that's not a great omen. We are having this sometimes gets only tremor level activity, but we're getting some decent sized quakes out there right now. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There's a lot of quakes, obviously, as usual, in California and Alaska. Most recent one in Alaska right here. Oh, God, it's so hard to click on these because they're so fucking massive. 3.4 at 10 kilometers depth. That one's a little outside of the Aleutian island chain. And then here in California, we've got, God, it is even harder to see them in California. Let me tell you. Let me turn off depth exaggeration. Yeah. Okay, so now you can see the points. It really goes all the way down the Pacific coast. It really does go from, honestly, out here, this is a plate boundary area. It goes from out here down into this entire fracture zone, really. Let's turn depth exaggeration back on and give my shells back, though. Well, no, I don't want to. Oh, hold on. I accidentally put it on. Yeah, I want to do magnitude, not. Okay. Here in Hawaii, there's 14 earthquakes right in Kilauea that we saw noted on volcanostoday.com. It is one of the more notable volcanoes experiencing earthquake activity right now. We were expecting something big out of this a few months ago. God, it feels like forever ago. Weeks, months, I don't even know how long. But we haven't seen anything over 2s or 3s in a while. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. So I'm not going to speculate. Let's see. What else have we talked about? This area. Not too much new going on in the Africa, Europe, Asia area. Although, didn't I say yesterday that I expected something in China, Mongolia region? Here's a 4.2 at 10 kilometers depth. I think that somebody who has good editing skills would be able to stitch that together. There's also a 4.2 at 10 kilometers depth up here at the North Pole. All right. Alrighty then. Yeah, we've got something here in Peru, in Coporaque, Peru. And again, crazy amount of very strong earthquakes around Puerto Rico. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know why they're centered on there. Also, wow, a big trans Mexico and 9, 4.9. So we're getting mid-range fours all up and down this coastline, and they're rocking back and forth too. I mean, the most recent ones on the planet have been here. Really interesting. Yeah. So there's our pincushion Earth for today. Got a lot of our voodoo doll Earth. These are the areas where the rock has actually moved. Now let's go ahead and check back in with our weather. And I'm going to go to browser weather. Go to my browser weather things. This is our current temperature map. As you can see, there's that big center of circulation right near Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa junction region. Let's see. Sioux Valley, South Dakota, Hancock, Iowa, and Civil Bend, South Dakota. Let's see. Lightning. Yeah, let's look at our severe weather. Give me a summary. No, it's not what I want. Lots of lightning there. Let's go ahead and look at our, since I spent all that time talking about the direction of the propagation of storm and the effect that this can have on rainfall totals for a storm event. Let's go ahead and see what our real-time radar precipitation analysis is. All right, so obviously really fucking heavy rain here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, stretching straight through to where I'm sure that we will see increasing totals as this storm moves through the area. And up here where we have the rotation, not seeing quite as much precipitation accumulate. But remember, these are just scattered cells. So for them to be having values up into the 1 to 2 inches marks is a lot. And this is only in the last 6 hours. Let's take a look at our 24-hour precipitation. Yeah, this is looking more like California over the winter this year, where we are just getting a massive, big, nasty, infected scar of tons of water. And I do mean tons. Sometimes when people say tons, they're not talking about tons. They're talking about a lot. I'm talking about literal, physical measurement of weight. Tons of rain are being dropped here. Let's see, right here in the middle of Missouri, we're all the way up to 4 inches in one day. And you see in the middle of this, let's see if this lets me zoom in. Okay, yeah, it does. Good. Finally, something that doesn't overscale the ads. Let's see. 6 starts at the medium orange. This, we're getting up to 6 inches in this area already. And then when we go back out to, I don't know, let's say 48-hour analysis. Or no, it's 72 hours, what we got. Yeah, we're looking at a lot of rain already being dumped in this area. This week has been a really heavy rainmaker, severe weather creator, like a job creator, but they actually do what their name says. A really severe weather creator. This little 9-shaped uh cyclonic mesoscale cyclone really is that's creating a lot of rain. It's getting people wet all across America. America is wet for severe weather. America is wet with severe weather. That's my. I was looking at the precept. Let's look at observed precept. Yeah, America is wet for weather. Look at that. Look at that. That is a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot. What are our current hazards? Yeah. Here, we got oh, so I have to get my ducks in a row all over again. See, this is why I continually uh all right. This is why I'm always checking back on my streaming tab. Okay, so looks like the data from yesterday got captured even though it wasn't displayed online. Remember that our ELF sonogram is our extremely low frequency wave sonogram. It's a graph of sound. These are sounds that we don't necessarily hear with our eardrum. These are sounds that are heard by the eardrum of the earth itself, and played by the earth itself. This is increased power at all bandwidths or at all modes. But let's look here. God, again, I can't zoom in without blowing up the ads bigger than the data. But this little archy thing right here and right here, do you notice these odd shapes that are not very rectilinear on the graph? That looks like a voice to me. That is the pattern of speech and vocalization. I've shown y'all again that Chrome Labs, let me just pull it up one more time. I think this is the easiest way to visually explain that voices have more of a like a lilting tone, like a changing frequency as often as it's changing amplitude kind of thing. And percussive speak is or percussion is where we get the separations. But when I'm is where there's that is where that is the shape of what I'm trying to point out on this sonogram. Let me make sure that okay, we're still working on here. So that's why I point out that there are little talking shaped lines on this. The rest of it looks very ordered, produced by wave-like structures. These are interesting bursts of power, though. Do you notice the really short duration power bursts and then some even smaller duration power bursts? Let's look at our amplitudes. So that'll tell us when, there's random spikes of power coming in. One of these has an increase in mode 2 across a long period of time. But looking at some discrete bursts of energy again. And this is where we got that burst of energy that we saw yesterday that wasn't shown. That's mostly in the lower frequencies rather than the higher frequencies. But here on the 26th, our higher frequencies actually led the lower frequencies. So we got one that was coming from the low side and one that was coming from the high side. Let's go now to look at our space weather, our solar weather. Okay. Current data suggests we might be able to see aurora in Manitoba, so I want to go ahead and look at that webcam. We got lucky that one time on the webcam, the Manitoba webcam, so I kind of just really like it. Also, there was where and sent into the space weather woman, Tamitha Scove, Dr. Tamitha Scove. So go check out her Twitter if you are interested. Okay. Oh, yes, we did. We got them. Look at, check it out. We've got some live. Okay. I don't know why it's so windy sounding, but okay. I am going to watch on YouTube take this. Um, Go into OBS. Add a media source. Is that it? Oh no, it's not media source. I need to do a. I want to do a browser. And it's gonna go to this. Guys, I've almost got it. I've almost got this. And we're going to, yeah, I'm gonna put that Northern Lights cam in the corner so that we hit our pages. Hell yeah! That's gorgeous. I do hate hearing the sound, but maybe I can mute this real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's continue looking at our space weather while we have this beautiful live view of the Aurora Borealis happening currently in Manitoba, Canada. I guess we'll start with the auroral weather. Here's our auroral oval. We have a planetary K index of 3 currently. We are just getting out of a moderate storm, a moderate solar storm. Our observed is much lower than our predicted field strength. Here is our, pretty decent wind speeds, not low, but not high. But our density is pretty spectacular. Not spectacular, but we're with such a strong interplanetary magnetic field strength. That is a pretty decent. The color grading gives you a good idea. And also our magnetometers here. Look how strong some of these magnetometers have registered at. We've got, okay, Fort Churchill is the one that we are currently watching video for. But like here in, is that Yukon? Yellowknife and in Iqaluit, Cambridge, interplanetary magnetic sucking when we're looking for the sucking down into Earth, this is what we want to look for. And it's really interesting that we are still in a northern component. That means that we're not necessarily actively sucking in, or it might be harder for the interplanetary magnetic field to couple with the planetary magnetic field, but it's not impossible, especially if we keep oscillating in and out of north and south orientation. We could just have set up like something like direct current where it's like both on and off makes it more on. We went to a KP index of 5 today. Minor G1 geomagnetic storm was reached. Active geomagnetic conditions of KP4 were reached. Hemispheric power was predicted to reach 50 gigawatts. We had M1.39 that had a corresponding R1 radio blackout. Let's look at our, okay. So we've got a bright region facing the sun, facing the Earth from the sun, and two dim regions that would probably put out some fast solar wind for whatever's in between it. Our solar proton level seems to have shot up, but not very high. Let's see. Where's my hemispheric power get read out? Didn't they used to have that on the auroral? Where's the hemispheric power thing? Oh, well. We did have, okay, so this is what's bouncing around in our atmosphere. We did have a really strong southern orientation to our magnetic field earlier in the day. Let's take a look at our coronal mass ejections. Ooh, and we have a winner. We only had 4 coronal mass ejections today. However, it was a banger. Oh, look at this dog bone, wishbone shaped, beautiful. Oh, mwah, mwah. It just looks like the sun is going, mwah. Look at that. Let's see this again. Bellissima. Mwah. Or bellissimo, because the sun's a boy. Mwah. Mwah. Kind of a wave number of 1 and a wave, not a wave number, but like there's only one node in the wave, the waviness. There's only one petal. This is a double petal. This is a single petal. I like to think of these in terms of petals. And peacock feathers in the way that they overlap. Gorgeous. Let's take a look at this on our video from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Is 304 the one that'll show mass ejections? No, that'll show plasma as well. I think this, yeah, 193 is where we want to look for this. I think I'll gamble on trying to load the high cadence image. All right, it does go slower. Look at that heart shape there, cardioid curve. Wonder where, I mean, oh, there's a little eruption there. It's probably one of our smaller ones. We were coming from like a angle. Here's a little tornado forming right there. Oh, that is certainly some type of activity at that. Right here looks very active, but I can't tell you. Let's go to the faster one. Yeah, I think that side eruption might have been the one that we saw. Oh, there we go. That's it right here. Oh, I didn't know I could do this full screen. I'm doing this 4 months. I just found out I could do this full. Look at this. Winding. Oh, yeah. Spindling that needle and reminds me of Sleeping Beauty, like the like how the spindle, how you create a bobbin of thread, just circling it all up, circling it up, and then eventually somebody comes by with a knife and slices the entire bobbin and all the thread frays to a million tiny pieces. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's take a look at what Enlil has to say. That coronal mass ejection should go that way, but we were expected from a previous mass ejection to be hitting Earth. Let's look now at, I didn't look at solar flares. Pretty calm solar flares today. After we started off the 25th last night with, pretty calm area. There, we've only barely poked into the M class X-ray flux today, so not too bad there. Let's now take a look at our planetary weather. Okay, planetary weather for today. It is a Venus day and a moon hour. We started broadcasting during a Venus day and a Mercury hour, so of course I talked way too much. And tomorrow will be a Saturn day. Saturday is Saturn's day. Now, don't judge me for my targeted ads because I don't buy things, so they just kind of try to give me anything. Got still so much Pisces and Taurus, it makes my little heart happy because that's is Taurus Sun, Pisces Moon. So we've had our Mercury station direct in Aries. We've got the moon in Sagittarius applying to a trine with that recently stationed direct Mercury, which feels like making for hot-headed, fast, fiery communication. Maybe we're lighting a fire or putting the boilerplate on underneath what we have to talk about. Of course, Jupiter here is the ruler of Sagittarius. Moon is in Sagittarius, and the moon is exalted in Taurus. And Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is currently in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, which is in Pisces, which is ruled by, if you're modern, Neptune, or if you're traditional, Jupiter. So we're just all in one big happy exchange of information here. But who's left out in this reception circle is Saturn and Pluto. So I wouldn't, it seems like, maybe it would be a slightly easier day to accomplish your routine tasks, but maybe not a great day for feeling like it's very plugged into the big picture of resistance, revolution, and a higher cause. Maybe you feel like a worker bee today, but you enjoy the sensual pleasures of it. Perhaps your worker bee virtues had something to do with communication or mercurial things like performance, etc. That could also be very true for a Sag moon and Aries Mercury. That trine right there is very performer spotlight, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, yes, of course. We have to go to the cards. It is now time for the cosmic weather. So thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Cosmic weather. Let's see if I can get my selenite to go. deck card. Let's start with the Good Vibes Oracle, the Manifestation deck. Okay. Let's see. What is the cosmic weather? Cosmic weather coming in is the measure of my success is joy. The measure of my success is joy. I'm going to ASMR style this card for you. The amount of joy you have allowed yourself to experience is the greatest indicator of your allowance of energy and success. Whenever you are feeling good, you are an enormous successful contributor. I'll read that again. For those of you in the back who want to feel like a victim, for those of you in the back who feel like you don't deserve your success, the amount of joy you have allowed yourself to experience is the greatest indicator of your allowance of energy and success. Whenever you are feeling good, you are an enormous successful contributor. Success and joy is a direct relationship. There's a direct relationship between success and joy. Actually, I want to go add this to the stream, just very tiny. Okay. I want to keep the Aurora Borealis on in the background just for inspiration. So that is this card. Let's do a card from the tarot next. Got my labradorite with it. Ooh, look at that flash. Look at that beautiful flashy flash. That right there is what you use labradorite for. Oh man, that feels powerful. That is powerful. Tarot deck. My holographic tarot deck. For our holographic world. Oh, these cards are jumpy today. They just want to jump right out of my hands. Oh my goodness. Okay. They are feeling the vibes. Feeling the vibes for sure today. Okay, tarot, what do you have to say about what the planetary weather is? What is the cosmic weather, excuse me. What is the weather beyond the planetary weather, beyond the solar, beyond what we can sense with our machines and current understanding of the universe? What is something we could only feel weather-wise in the parts of our souls that are beyond bodies? What is our etheric and chaotic translation of weather. What's the weather like in the interstellar field? I'm going to do this. Cut the deck. And it'll be the one that I cut to. Ooh, okay. We got the Emperor upright. So the Emperor associated with Aries, as you can tell from the ram's skulls. I don't know if this will focus very well. By the rams on his throne and the red all over. Jewels in the crown, the extremely fiery background, the Ankh scepter here in meanings esoterically abound in this card. He's ready for battle, even though power once the battle is not raging. The Emperor is both in the physical battle and the mental battle. He's holding the scepter that is marked as an Ankh in one hand and the orb in his other hand. I believe it's the left hand is the orb and the right hand is the scepter. That also has divine masculine and feminine connotations with how you wield power. The Emperor is the one that holds them equally in his hands, wielding the power of the feminine and the masculine, but it has to be the executor. He's not the Empress, full of chaos, possibilities, magic, etc., life, abundance, creation, death, destruction from the creation. This is the decider. This is the guy who knows stuff. This is the man who wants to correct you, but mostly because he's in power. Very interesting fellow. He's also side-eyeing. I don't know if you can see that on my card here, but he's given the side eye over to the right. He's like looking, maybe he's looking to his right-hand man. Maybe he doesn't do it all on his own. Maybe that is a more correct embodiment or a higher embodiment of the Emperor. There's both really high red mountains in the background and a red sky, so either a sunset or sunrise, and a little teeny stream of water. Just the hint of the feminine essence, just a teensy tiny hint of the feminine. But this is really like a wand fire vibes card. This also has to do with establishment, power, government as we know it, power as we think of it, where we think of money and or how we think of government as having power or companies as having power. The earthly material like concepts that aren't yours. This is the Bob Ingalls, not Laura Lynn. Laura Lynn. All right, I must have just angered somebody because I got kicked off stream again. But yeah, the Emperor is the card that we've got for our current planetary weather. So wow, watch out, establishment. Here we come. This is the vibe is thinking about the concepts of power and ownership that aren't tangible. The more shall we say egoic manifestations of possession. not the real physical, I'm holding the object things, but I believe that I am the one who gets to say that I'm in charge because I have right is might. I have the implied threat of violence behind everything that I say. That manliness, you know? Okay, so that is coming in with the measure of my success is my joy. So that is an interesting combination. Perhaps the emperor has never felt ashamed of his abundance and power. Maybe women and people raised to be women feel a lot of shame about their happiness. I know I'm saying that about myself. I feel a lot of shame when I'm happy. And that's not something that I'm proud of. That's something that I am currently working through in this lifetime, is figuring out how to be okay with pleasure in a reality, a very dense reality that sucks. The world sucks sometimes. So how do you allow yourself to be happy even though the do you think he's ever succeeding joyfully? Nah. Nah. I'm not thinking about that. Not always going to say this, but be more like the Aries man. Just believe in yourself as much as the Aries man believes in himself. Talking to myself there. Okay. Ocean Jasper for the liminal space. All right, liminal space. What do you have to say about the measure of my success is my joy, along with the Emperor upright? Ooh, that was a rough shuffle. That was a rough one. Woo, buddy. We just didn't quite get cohesive on that one. All right. The Emperor upright and the measure of my success is my joy. Okay. Well, I'm going to take these two that jumped out during the shuffle. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We have a cool pair to get together. The software update and glitch. The software update and the glitch. I'm not going to assign these two to either one of these. I'm going to say I'm interpreting these together. There are many people talking about the software update that is currently happening for human bodies on the planet Earth. Human souls, human bodies, human incarnations. We are updating our software. Some people are choosing to play a new game. People are loading a different operating system. Sometimes it's just a patch to your old operating system. It could be a glitch. There could be a glitch in your previous operating system that shows you that it's time to update the software to glitch out. Shameful faults or manifestation of self-sabotage. Maybe this is just the software update working out the kinks. Maybe there are some bugs in the software still, and there will be new patches to the software soon. I want to read the interpretation of the software update here. I'm reminded so heavily of how Jessa Reed talks about the software update and the human body and what we're experiencing right now in large time as humans. Yeah, glitch is really, really pretty looking card too. I think we got glitch the other day, and I was looking for a reason for why things didn't work out. But Glitch says, reality is a fragile and subjective operating system. All machines are subject to occasional minor malfunctions and overrides. Perhaps you zoned out. And the software update says it's got a computer in a hand reaching through a portal. And what's written on the computer screen is the actual interpretation in the book. It says, this is an invitation to evolve. If declined, all life will be experienced through the lens of your outdated software. This may improve upon old features or add something. So exactly what I said. This might be a load. It could just here. You're the commander of your own life. Me, currently, I'm just talking to myself. Cloud, you're the commander of your own life. The measure of your success is your joy. You are the emperor. You got the emperor vibes. Your Aries Venus is so emperor. It's time to update this software. It is time to take the glitches into account, reset, restore, do something different. Be something different, love something different. I love succeeding and I love being joyful, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Yep, that's all there is. Okay, so that's the weather today. That's our weather update. As brought to you by the tarot cards, the oracle cards, the solar weather, the planetary weather, the earthly weather, the geological weather, and the lithospheric volcanic weather, and the Schumann resonance weather. All of that is included in the holistic, onion layered, fractally system of weather. All of it is weather. It's all weather all the way up and down. That's what I'm saying. It's all weather. All of it is weather. What you think you're doing, that's not weather. It is weather of a certain frequency and medium. Everything has a resonant frequency and inherent units. The units define the thing, and the units vice versa. About the nature of reality. I love you all very much. Have a great evening. Take a look at these cards again. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A great interpretation of life right now. Love that. Love that. Love you. Love us. Love you all for being here. Love us for being here. Have a great evening. I will see y'all tomorrow. Love you. Bye.